A construction worker sprints to stop his crew. They've just unearthed something buried deep underground. Something dangerous. The news hits Chief Superintendent Susanna fast. One look at the photo, and the alarm is raised. Major Will is mid-drill at the shooting range when his phone goes off. He studies the image and makes the call. It's a 1,000-pound World War II bomb. He immediately orders an 800-meter perimeter sealed off. Police and military flood the area. Residents are rushed out. One apartment gets a knock with no answer. The cop assumes it's empty. He's wrong. Someone is waiting in the dark. Meanwhile, Rahim quietly helps his elderly parents down the stairs and out of the building. When Will arrives on site, he keeps his distance and orders the water drained from around the bomb. They convert a foreman's cabin into a command post. Then he shows his team footage from 2 years ago. A bomb they couldn't stop. Half a town gone. That's what failure looks like here. The site map reveals a maze of electrical cables. Power to the entire area gets cut. One civilian tries to bolt past the police line to grab his laptop. Cops chase him down. Shortly after, the area is declared fully evacuated, except it isn't. The moment the power dies, Corrales and his crew slip out of that dark apartment and move fast. They head straight to the basement where they've stashed tools in advance. Lights go up. Corrales mounts a camera at the front door, locks it, then slips out the back, digs through a dumpster, and pulls out a hidden generator. Cables run through a pipe into the basement. Another camera goes up at the alley gate. Then the drilling begins. Outside, Corrales keeps watch. Every time a police car rolls past, he radios his crew to kill the noise. The second it's gone, they drill again. Back on site, Corporal Martin finishes draining the water and finds Will pouring drinks. It's tradition, Will says. They head in. Will kneels beside the bomb and presses a mic to it. He hears it, ticking. A time fuse. Could detonate any moment within the next 48 hours. He brings out a magnetic clock stopper, hooks it up, and the team sprints for cover. It works. The ticking stops. Now comes the slow part, building a mitigation wall for a controlled explosion. 5 hours, minimum. In the basement, the crew hits steel. They swap the drill for a welding torch, burn through it, and on the other side, the bank vault. Cameras get blacked out. Boxes are cracked open. Cash, jewelry, and gold bars all come pouring out. The gold is too heavy to carry. They leave it. Back at the bomb, Martin is doing what he shouldn't, getting close. Will blows his horn. Everyone clears out. Martin's noticed something. Certain spots on the bomb aren't rusted. For an 80-year-old explosive, that's strange. Will brushes it off, well preserved, and sends the team back. Then a scanner spikes. The bomb is ticking again. The clock stopper is failing. Will grabs tools and goes back in. He'll have to drill the fuse and inject a chemical solution to jam the mechanism. Slowly. One wrong move, and it's over. At the station, a drone picks up an unusual heat signature near the site. One that doesn't belong to the soldier's generator. Susanna orders Will to stop immediately and sends officers to investigate. Will spots Martin inching toward the bomb again. He shouts him back. Martin moved the clock stopper himself. If it fails, he wants to own it. Will tells him it's not worth dying for and orders him behind cover. Inside the vault, Corrales pockets something from a specific box. His partner X tells him to put it in the trolley. Corrales hesitates, then complies. Then he spots the cops on the camera. Freeze. Generator off. A police car pulls up outside. The door is locked, so they sweep the perimeter. Corrales is spotted in the alley. He runs. He radios his team. Move, now! They seal the boxes in a hurry. The officers can't get through the locked gate. They go for tools to break it open. At the bomb site, Will gets a bad feeling. He tells everyone, helmets on, cover your ears. The ticking stops. Then the bomb goes off. The shockwave tears through the area, knocking drones from the sky. But the blast stays within the perimeter. The evacuated civilians are safe. The team survives, though Will and one soldier take injuries. The officers in the alley are down. Backup is called. Corrales reunites with his crew. He pauses to check on that one special item he took. The others are panicking. Cops are close. We need to go. He checks it anyway. Then they move. Up on the roof, Corrales and Y deploy 2 drones. One is busted. Corrales fixes it quickly. The boxes are loaded into the drone cages and launched. Police spot the drones overhead and assume they're their own. Minutes later, the drones touch down on a rooftop across the city. A woman picks up the boxes. Meanwhile, X and Z surface through a manhole they'd marked in advance with fake construction signs. Police catch it on security footage, but Zuzana figures they must be underground workers who missed the evacuation warnings. On the street, a patrol car spots Corrales, and Y chase begins. They duck into a parking lot, running circles around pillars and walls to split up their pursuers. They slip out the back, gain just enough of a lead to drop into a manhole and vanish into the sewers. Outside the perimeter, X and Z emerge from a different manhole. Their getaway driver is already waiting in a van. The woman arrives, hands over the boxes, and a cake she baked them. X pays her and sends her off. Police flood the first manhole. The van has to move. Back at the bomb site, Martin won't let it go. He wants the bomb's chemical signature tested. He doesn't think it's from Watu. Will looks uneasy, but passes the theory to Zuzana and walks away. Then the officer in the building finds the hole in the basement. The vault has been robbed. It goes out over the radio immediately. In the sewers, Corrales and Y dodge the police and eventually surface. Their van swings in and picks them up. At a checkpoint, the crew hands over fake paperwork, posing as London Water employees. The officers wave them through. Zuzana spots the London Water logo on the security footage and puts out a call. The checkpoint officers report the van that just passed. The crew pulls into a garage. License plates swapped, logos stripped. They drive out clean and out of the city. Back at the perimeter, Rahim approaches a checkpoint. His family has a flight to catch. They need their bags. Since they live in the crime scene building, police bring them in for a witness statement. Zuzana interviews Rahim. He explains 2 men came to his door in blue overalls, carrying papers from the landlord, asking for the basement keys to store tools. His father refused, but Rahim, knowing how it goes for immigrants when official-looking people come knocking, handed them over. He had no idea. The crew reaches a safe house in the countryside. They strip and burn their clothes, along with the van. Forced to undress, Y and Z reveal they skimmed a little extra for themselves, including some gold. Corrales says nothing. Instead, he opens the special item, uncut diamonds, worth 30 million, split evenly. Then Corrales steps outside to make a call. 2 men burst in. Stand down! Z tries to fight. He's dropped instantly. One of the men opens fire and hits Y. The driver tackles the shooter. X bolts upstairs, dodges a bullet through a window, and lands in the backyard, straight into a gun pointed at him by Ludo. The original crew is locked in the garage. Inside, Corrales and Ludo celebrate, because Ludo is his cousin, and this was always the plan. Ludo wants to know how Corrales knew about the diamonds. Corrales explains he used to work for a powerful man, flew into conflict zones, smuggled uncut stones out on his body, deposited them into his boss's vault. Then his boss betrayed him. This was payback. Ludo asks for a diamond. Corrales gives him one. Then Ludo pushes for more than 50% of everything. The argument explodes. Ludo grabs a tool and smashes it down on the table. A diamond shatters. Silence. Diamonds don't shatter. Corrales checks the others, one by one. His face falls. They're all fake. Ludo doesn't believe he didn't know. He pins Corrales' hand to the table and brings the tool down on it. Corrales screams that he's innocent. Ludo takes all the loot, throws Corrales in a car trunk, and drives off. The original crew is still locked in the garage. Across the city, residents are finally allowed home. Power's still out. Rahim's family hauls his father's wheelchair up the dark stairwell. While his family collects their things, Rahim goes to the roof, reaches into a flower pot, pulls out a bag of real diamonds. He hides them inside a suitcase handle, tells his brother everything's fine. Will gets home and steps into the shower, still processing. His phone rings. Forensics confirmed it. The bomb was not from Watu. It traces back to the British Army. Will needs to come in tomorrow morning. In the garage, X cuts his rope on the van door frame. He checks on Y, barely breathing. He frees the others, and the driver hot wires the van and rams through the door. They're too late for Y. He dies. Then Then X pulls out a tablet. He planted trackers in everyone's clothes. He has Corrales' location. They move out in 2 cars. In the trunk, Corrales texts a number. "I'm in trouble." He sends his location. He keeps shouting, pleading. Ludo just turns the music up. At the army base, Martin runs tests on the clock stopper and finds something that shouldn't be there, an extra chip. The device was sabotaged. At the station, police trace the apartment paperwork back to Corrales. Long criminal history, theft, diamond smuggling. At the airport, Rahim's family clears check-in without issue. On the road, X intercepts Ludo's car and tries to box him in. Ludo swerves, but X's partners come from the other side, forcing Ludo's vehicle through a fence. X's crew surrounds them. A window shatters. A fistfight over a gun breaks out. In the trunk, Corrales hears the music cut out and gunshots. Then, the trunk opens. Z and the driver drag him out. X pulls a plastic bag over his head and starts to choke him. A shot rings out. X goes down, hit in the neck. Another shot drops the driver in the leg. Z and the driver scatter. Corrales runs toward the shooter. It's Will. They were working together the whole time. They disappear together. Z and the driver search Ludo's car and find the cash and jewelry. They take it and go. Zuzana finally gets Corrales' file. She matches his face to the security footage. It's him. All airports and terminals are alerted immediately. Corrales, now cleaned up at a hotel, makes it to the airport and checks in on a fake passport minutes before the alert hits. At the police station, Martin brings Zuzana the news about the chip. He also recognizes a face in the file. Rahim, Will's interpreter from Afghanistan. Will personally arranged for Rahim's entire family to be relocated to safety. Zuzana digs deeper. Corrales was in Afghanistan too, working a gemstone mine. She puts out alerts for Will and Rahim as well. Will is already on a private plane. Police race to the airport for Corrales. He boards just in time. Zuzana then learns Rahim's brother was the night security guard at the construction site. When her team reaches Will's house, they find a workshop, notes on bomb modification, newspaper clippings about a failed military operation in Afghanistan, civilians killed, Istanbul. Corrales, Will, and Rahim sell the diamonds. The payout is enormous. Split 3 ways, they say goodbye and go their separate ways.